Alright, no doubt what you have all been missing the most over the Christmas break was my reviews of the current ongoing series Obsolete Wonder Woman. You all love these reviews. This is issue 7 and the second part of the story with the guest artist. And we have seen me use this cover as a cutaway a whole bunch already because it is the only cover that features this version of Wonder Woman's mom, Circe, who is a supporting character in the series, at least so far. I will also let you know in advance, we have another 2 Wonder Tot stories at the back. I love them. Last issue had these charming backup features with little infant Wonder Woman in L. They made me smile. And I showed this in a Turtles video of all things, but there are a lot of variant covers for this title, and I would love to show them all, but I cannot find half of them. There are 2 variant covers, one for last issue and then one for this issue, which feature Wonder Tots. We even open 2 Wonder Tots. Most issues, if not all issues, all issues, they have featured copious amounts of flashbacks to Wonder Woman's time growing up on the wild Isle of L. This time we are seeing some Wonder Tot. Other times she has been a teenager or a young adult. Here she meets Persephone, the queen of the underworld. I think Persephone has been a Wonder Woman character, regular Wonder Woman. I definitely recognise the name in relation to Wonder Woman, and not just from Greek mythology. I can tell you there is a Marvel Persephone, but I know diddly squat about Wonder Woman. I have read very few Wonder Woman comics, and to me, I think that is the charm of looking at this series. I obviously have some very basic understanding of Wonder Woman, but small familiarity with her world or her stories. So I am looking at Obsolete Wonder Woman as its own thing, without much of the expectations or the baggage that knowing the real Wonder Woman's history would make a reader have. You could also argue that that is the worst thing about me looking at this series, that I have close to zero awareness of what any of these characters mean or should mean, and so if Obsolete Wonder Woman completely screws up something important, then I don't even realise. Same as in myth, Persephone is the queen of the dead. She is the queen of the underworld. And that means she is wife to Hades. And Hades is our would-be villain for this 2-parter. Wonder Woman, she has been dragged back down to Hell by Hades, who was not happy with the heroine's ability to escape from Hell in the first place. Something that I am not happy about is these obscene title credit pages. I am going to focus on these and why they are awful one day, but not today. We have a slight flashback this is before or during the previous issue, and it involves Circe. Last issue ended with Hades revealing that he had Circe as a captive. And so what we are seeing is, well, not really, but it's sort of meant to be how that came to pass. She talks to Hecate. Circe is aware that Wonder Woman has been brought back to hell by Hades, and she wants to free her daughter. Then, back to the present, we see Circe is bound and gagged beside Hades, and he and Persephone revel in watching Wonder Woman battle against a chimera. Persephone does seem rather detached from Hades. She's not entirely a happy party in all this. She is honour bound by marriage to be his consort, but she does have her own desires and wants, and they are most definitely not as primal as this. With this issue, I will finally acknowledge the amount of flashing back in this series, because it gets quite ridiculous with this one. Every page turn is another flashback to random backstory. The previous issue had plenty of flashbacks too, but they were framed within the story a lot better. She was explaining the origins of some of her weapons and her magic. That broadly worked. But in this one, it's like a Family Guy episode with its frequent cutting away. This time around, it is Circe telling Wonder Woman, more of a Wonder Girl here than a Wonder Tot or a Wonder Woman. She is telling her a story, The Lady or the Tiger, a short story you might have heard. I'm not going to repeat it here because it requires a lot of setup for what is eventually an open-ended, interpretable conclusion. I do like Wonder Woman, her dissatisfaction with the story's lack of a clear resolution or an ending. Nice to see our little Diana be a literary critic. I wonder what she thinks of the current run on the main Wonder Woman title. If she likes conventional happy stories with endings and satisfying outcomes, I cannot see her giving it 7 thumbs up. Watch this. We get back to the present with Hades and Persephone, and then cut away to another past scene with the title star and her hot mam. I don't think I've established that yet. Her mam is hot. This time, Circe is retelling the same story to an harder Wonder Woman to see if she understands the point of it yet. That either you can read it as the princess is a good person who is willing to surrender her love, or that she is selfish and petty, and so she sends him to meet his death fighting a tiger. This subscribes to the idea that the princess is the latter, selfish. She sent her lover to death rather than to another woman. We have some more cutting back and forth between present and past. It comes across as a crutch in this one. I don't know what to say. The flashbacks are typically the best parts of obsolete Wonder Woman. I prefer this different Wonder Woman backstory with her and her hot mam alone in hell. I like seeing those bits and how Wonder Woman affects both her hot mom and that world for the better. But the way that this series relies on them is an issue. I think a better writer, and I don't mean too much disrespect when I say that, I think a better writer would have placed the flashbacks at less obvious parts, where the information that they convey isn't immediately, or within a few pages at least, paid off in the present. I like our guest artists. I don't want to compare them to the regular artists because that feels unfair to both of them. But I find these characters look incredibly attractive in this. He draws nice, appealing faces on Wonder Woman and her hot mom. I think this art is more crowd-pleasing than the book's regular style by Peabody and Sherman. But Peabody and Sherman's art comes across as more special. It feels like its own thing. It's like a voice. And there are little details that go unsung, or you might miss the first time around, which make it consistently feel exciting to see. You don't ever know what you're actually going to get with a scene when Peabody and Sherman is the artist. Wonder Woman stands up to Hades, decrying the injustice of his imprisonment of her. And now is where the tiger and the lady stuff comes into things. Wonder Woman is not the princess in that story. She is the lover who has to pick between two doors. And Circe is in fact the princess who can either send her daughter back to the real world and never see her again, or send her through the other door that will be certain death. Anyway, it doesn't matter because that scene at the start, the flashback with Persephone, undoes any finality to the choice. Wonder Woman, she can come back to hell from the real world now. Her hot mom, she was good though. Circe didn't choose the selfish option. But we have some bad writing here with, all this time I thought I was teaching you, but you were actually teaching me. Next, The Maze. Peabody and Sherman is back. I have absolutely no idea where this series goes or will go. And then here is Wonder Tot. They should do Wonder Tot forever. I want these to be at the back of every issue of this series from here on. It's just so damn cute and feel good. There's not an ounce of negativity in these single page stories. They're like a modern day Sugar and Spike strip. And maybe they can weaponize them to make people feel better about the issue overall. If you end on them, how can a person think bad things about the rest of the issue? Wonder Tot was so wholesome and lovely that it feels too nasty to complain about flashbacks or Deus Ex Machinas. I need to give this a 7 thumbs up so that they keep doing Wonder Tot stories.